Hello, students. We've got another student. We've had some questions on 7.1. So write each of the following terminating decimals as A over B in simplest form. Now, when you look at some of these, I know it kind of looks a little bit complex, and maybe we'll do another one out of A as well. But we can start with something like this, because when you look at it, 28 0.32, you see two decimal places. So that means we could write this as 28 and 32 over 100, which is equivalent to saying 2,832 over 100, treating it just as one big number, just with two decimal places, so 2832. Then it does say, write this as a fraction in simplest form. So again, we've got the idea of being able to write it as a fraction. Simplest form is then just factoring pieces out. So down here in the denominator, I know this is 4 times 25, and I write it that way because I can see there's no 5s in the numerator. Right? Doesn't end with a 5, so 25, 5 or 25 won't go in there. But it does end with a 32, and from our chapter 4 material, we know that that means it's divisible by 4. So I factor the 4 out here. 4 goes into 28 7 times. That's 700, and 4 goes in here 8 times. So I have 708 times 4 is the numerator, and then I can use floth to simplify the common factors. My final result, 708 out of 25. Now, if you want to, you can grab your calculator, and I recommend that you kind of always check yourself. 708 divided by 25, you should get 28.32 right on the nose. So there it is, rewriting it as a single fraction. So that's the idea for question number 5. Very similar here. Again, now you'd have 4 decimal places, not a big deal. There you'd end with 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So you'd have 10,000 instead of 100. And over here, you'd end up with, once again, a couple hundred. Don't forget, though, you do have a negative value. So make sure your sign at the end is going to be negative. Let's see here. This student also asked for question 15. I did that in another video. And we'll go to 16. Okay, so let's take a look here. So we know that this entire chunk right here is 1 unit. All right, so out of this 1 unit, what do we have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10, and I have 6 of them and another 6. So it looks like I have 12 pieces. Yeah, I would be a little bit more clear. It's hard for me to tell whether these are base 10 blocks and they represent this top part as 1 unit. So then I would add those two pieces together. It looks, because they're pressed together, I'm going to think the entire thing is 1 unit. So this entire thing is 1 unit. So that means my entire unit, it says which represent 0.6. So I end up with 20 pieces, and I have 3, 6, and 6 is 12. I have 12 out of the 20 represented for a full unit. So now then, again, it's representing 0.6. I might divide both by 2, because then I end up with 6 over 10, and 6 over 10 does match up with 0.6. So there we go. There's our way of representing. And again, then you're actually going through and checking which of each of them ends up with as 6/10. All right, that takes care of it for a little bit of extra 7.1. If you have questions as well, let me know. All right, off you go.